There is good news. Dangote Refinery has finally started production. After some years of delay, they are currently producing only aviation fuel and diesel. No reason was given by Dangote on why they are not starting with petrol, which is the highest in demand in the Nigerian market. Maybe it's just economics. After all, aviation fuel, which is kerosene, and diesel are much more expensive than petrol. So maybe they chose to start with the most expensive products so that they can earn more money. Which brings us to the main question on everyone's lips. Will the production of these fuels in Nigeria for the first time in about many years translate to lower prices of petrol in Nigeria? Yes, there's a difference from what Dangote is doing and the current system that Nigeria is operating right now. The current system, NNPC imports petrol from abroad. Whether it's from Europe or Asia, they have to pay for the shipment of the oils to Nigeria. When it arrives Nigeria, they have to pay duty on the petrol before it is offloaded at their tank farms, where tanker trucks will now load them and move them to the filling stations. So the cost of shipping the petrol and the duty paid on the petrol is transferred to the consumer, which ultimately affects the price of the petrol. Now to Dangote Refinery, whether he got the crude oil from NNPC, which was pumped from oil wells in the Niger Delta, or he bought the crude oil from the international market. However he got the crude oil, the most important thing now is that he is processing them and refining the petrols locally at his refinery in Lekki, Nigeria. Okay, let's assume that after the initial stage, crude oil will be pumped from Niger Delta to his refinery in Lekki, Nigeria. So there will not be any cost paid for shipment and customs duty. That will definitely translate to lower prices, isn't it? If it doesn't, even if it's just to remove the customs duty and shipping cost, even if it's just 100 naira per liter that is reduced, if it doesn't, that means the only benefit to the Nigerian economy will be the reduction in the pressure and demand for foreign exchange in Nigeria. Yes, come to think of it, Dangote Refinery, which is a 650,000 barrels per day refinery, can meet the daily local demand in Nigeria. If they are able to stabilize their production and they are not able to reduce the cost of petrol in Nigeria, that means there is no difference between importation of petrol to Nigeria and refining of petrol locally in Nigeria. If locally refined petrol is not cheaper than imported one, then the two should be allowed to coexist and compete so that prices can be brought down. Let them allow importation of petrol to continue. Whoever can import should be given a license if it is NNPC, although they own about 20% of Dangote Refinery. Importation of petrol should continue so that the price of petrol can become even more affordable. Petrol drives Nigerian economy. It is used to power not just vehicles and public transport, it is used by SMEs, factories, homes, because there is serious power shortage in Nigeria. And you know the consequence of unreliable power supply or power shortages. It always leads to low productivity. If you want to increase production in Nigeria, you must guarantee 24-hour power supply. If that can't be done in the near future, that means the government must guarantee the alternative. People are forced to rely on petrol to power generators in order to continue their production. They must make sure that that source of energy is affordable. Their ultimate priority should be to find ways to make sure that the cost of petrol keeps going down. On the other hand, they can also exploit other energy sources that can act as alternatives like CNG, compressed natural gas, that can be used to power taxis and public transport buses, which will obviously drive down the cost of transportation. No economy can grow without having an affordable mass transit system. If anyone cannot move around on the cheap, that means the person's movement and mobility is restricted, which means the economy is not booming, as simple as that. Consider this: if you're a driver of a public transport vehicle and you come out as early as 5 a.m. to start your job and few people are coming out to board the vehicles, that means your take home for that day will be very low compared to other days. And imagine where the driver spends his money on a daily basis. One short place he goes on a daily basis is the petrol station, where he must go to refill his tank. So imagine if he refills his tank 2 times in a day and he's not able to do it once a day. That means low sales for the filling station. So you can see the chain reaction. The more people are on the move, the more money that is being made by people, the more the economy booms. So the ultimate priority of the government is to make sure that all obstacles that prevent mobility must be removed so that people can be on the move. The next one will be to solve all the problems that prevent people from spending their own money. Nigerian economy is a very strange one, how it operates. It is the only economy where you want to spend money, your own hard-earned money, but you can't spend it. The system is fighting hard to stop you from spending money. In other economies, especially in Western countries, they do everything to make you continue spending because they know the more you spend, the more others earn money, the more the economy booms. They even give you credit cards to shop on credit to repay at the end of the month when you earn your salary. In Nigeria, credit cards are not widely available. You are forced to pay for many transactions with cash. You go to the bank, you are only allowed to withdraw 20,000 even at the ATM machines. You go to the roadside POS person to withdraw, the person will tell you, I only have 30,000 or 20,000 to give you. I don't have cash. When the person wants to spend 200,000, he turns to his bank app on his phone. But the bank app is not working. He's not able to complete a transaction. He can't do transfers. So the system is ultimately working against growth. It's not possible. It's very, very bizarre. So they should find ways to make sure the efficiency, especially the communications network, all the bank apps, that they should be able to complete transactions. They must have a bandwidth that is double of the customer base so as to serve them. Whenever someone wants to withdraw money or make transfers, this is not rocket science. This should be very simple to achieve. So working against the interest of your own economy is actually very, very strange when others are actively working to make sure theirs continue to boom and grow. So these are very simple to do. Anyone that wants to spend money should be encouraged, not discouraged by the system. Imagine being frustrated for 2 days, not getting cash to buy what you want to buy. That seller, that merchant at his shop in any market is waiting for people to come and buy. But people are coming, they can't spend their own money. Thanks for watching.